So we've come back to the machines and we're sewing right around the outside. We're using the edge of our foot again. You might want to leave a little bit wider seam, but it is enough to just use the edge of your foot. We're taking the pins out as we go. We're using our hands to direct the fabric to make sure that it's going where we need it to go. Now when we get to the corners, we actually want the corners to be square. We don't want them to go around like a circle. So we actually come right to the edge of the corner. Then we stop, and this is the only time that you'll leave the needle in the fabric. You put the needle so instead of this being all the way at the top, we're actually going to make sure it's right down to the bottom. The needle's in as far as it can go. We lift up the foot. We turn it around, and then we put the foot down, and we've just done a corner. Okay, so that's how you do a corner on the sewing machine. And that will be a beautiful straight corner. Now our fabric didn't match up exactly because that other side wasn't as straight as we thought it was, as I thought it was. Didn't check. Rule number 1, check, double check. Right, so I'm coming up to the corner again. I keep the fabric firm with my fingers, but not too tight. I go up to where I would do the seam in the other direction. So it's about there. We guess where we're going to do the seam in the other direction. We put the needle right down into the fabric as far as it will go. Lift up the foot, turn the direction, put the foot down, and away you go again. Now this time I've got a bit of that selvage showing, so I'm actually sewing over the selvage so you won't see it on the outside of the foot. You need to make sure that you've allocated enough seam allowance for that to happen when you do that. Now we're coming up to our little flip, which is easier to do in the other direction because we're going with the fabric. So we just need to take our time when we get a bit closer. As we go over that lump, I'm losing the foot pedal on the sewing machine. It's going for a swim. Okay, and then we just go right off the edge. And we might go backwards and forwards so that we lock that stitch so it doesn't come undone, because it's going to get a lot of work on that corner. And then we make sure that it's up so we can take it out, lift up the foot and cut the fabric. And then we do a round with zigzag to stop it with it. Now, has anyone got any questions?
So the zigzag the same way with the stitch in terms of leaving the needle down to turn the corners?
No, because that corner doesn't matter with the zigzag, you actually can go round it so much, as long as you don't sew over your beautiful square corner that you've done with your straight, you can actually go round on the zigzag because you're not going to see it. Good question. Thanks, Harley. Everyone else good? Mm-hmm. Okay, excellent. Now remember too, what we're using at the moment is a woven fabric, so it doesn't stretch very much. You can use jersey fabrics, which is what t-shirts are made out of, what my shirt's made out of, and that will have a bit more give in it. Sometimes when you sew with that, if it's got a lot of give in it, you need to use a different stitch, and that's what these stitches F and G are for. They're actually for jersey fabrics when you sew. And what it does is that it stretches with the fabric when you sew. Can you imagine a straight line of cotton in a stretchy fabric? The cotton doesn't give, so it's going to just snap. And that's why you'll sometimes find with your t-shirts, if they've not been sewn properly, you'll end up with pops in your seams and stuff like that. That's why. It's because they've not used the right stitches on their sewing to keep the fabrics a little stretched with the fabric. So if you're going to use stretch fabric for your pillowcase, that's what you need to remember when you do it. So we'll just switch this now over to zigzag. So you can see I'm just doing, and it doesn't even matter if you go over the edge of the fabric a little bit, it actually helps to secure it, like secure the two fabrics to each other.
Is it that what you'd overlock if you had it?
Yes, if you had an overlocker, this is exactly what you would overlock. And sometimes the overlocker actually do the straight seam and the edge seam at the same time. which is the beauty of an overlocker. And so what we could do is, again, I've come to the end, I'm actually turning my fabric around and I'm zigzagging across. The other advantage is if your fabric's a little bit out, the overlocker automatically cuts that off, and so you've just got this beautiful, nice, neat edge. So I'm actually...
Cut that off when you finish?
Yes, you can, as long as the zigzag's down in the bottom section. Don't cut the zigzag, because if you even just cut a little bit of the zigzag, it will all come undone.
Yeah.
So that's what you want. Changing direction again. So yes, I didn't go round, but some people do. If they're just doing it really quick, they just go round. But I'm trying to be neat today, girls, and doing a good job. Now remember too, this is a selvage edge. It actually doesn't need zigzagging because it won't fray, because it's the edge of the weaving. Do you remember how we talked about that, how that weaving, it doesn't come undone, but when you cut the fabric underneath, you can see is not the selvage, right? And so we need to zigzag it so that it won't fray. Okay, now I went too fast over that bit and it got caught in the foot, which is part of the problem. I have my foot totally off the machine because I don't want to sew my finger accidentally. So I moved it back again, make sure it's all neat and the cotton isn't caught around itself, and that's what can happen if you temperamental. Right, so we'll take it totally out now, we'll release the bobbin thread, we'll cut the thread and we'll start again. It's good when you see what happens when it goes wrong so that you can actually go, oh, Karen told me about that when it goes wrong. Right, so there we go, we're zigzagging all the way to the edge. Now of course we want our work to be beautiful and neat, so we're going to get our scissors and cut our threads, but I'm going to turn this inside out so you can have a look at how our pillowcase is. And our beautiful square corner that's been turned in. And there we go, there's our pillowcase, ready to go. Ready for our pillow to go in and ready to happen. Okay, there we go. Okay, so any questions?
Can I have it?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for listening and participating in this. I hope you found it useful and helpful. If you could please fill out an evaluation form when you're finished, that would be fantastic. And I hope you've enjoyed our class. Thank you.
Thank you.